morning. Welcome to Pike Creek Farm. My name is Renee, and we are located in the thumb of Michigan, and we have about 8 acres of our little farm, but it's not really a farm, but we like to call it that. And today I am excited to be part of a collaboration. It's for Father's Day, making recipes that the men in our life enjoy and like. And this is put on by Small Town 6 and Jessica Myrose. And they have great channels. I will have links to their channels down below. And I'll also have the playlist link for all the different videos from all the channels that are putting together their recipes and their videos for this. So I'm pretty excited to see what everyone came up with. And the first recipe I'm gonna do is something that's a favorite in our family that I make, especially by the men in the family. So today I'm going to make bagels, and they're not traditional bagels, but they're really easy and they're pretty tasty. And my son Ben, who is a new father this year, this is his first Father's Day, he enjoys these a lot, but so does my husband Jim and our son Nick. So come along with me and I will show you how to make some oven-baked bagels, and with everything seasoning on them. So let me show you the ingredients. To make these bagels, you need all-purpose flour. You can do a combination with whole wheat with all-purpose. I've done it that way too, to make them a little healthier, give them some more fiber. And then you need Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. It has to be Greek to be thick enough. And I usually use the 2%. You want to take off the liquid whey and then measure. It's 1 cup. And then you need to spray a cookie sheet that you put parchment paper on, or one of those mats, and they will stick to a regular, just plain cookie sheet. So make sure you use the parchment and spray it. We need baking powder, we need kosher salt, and then you need whatever you want to season them with. I'm going to use the everything seasoning, but when I don't have that in the house, I've added chopped garlic to the batter and sprinkled salt on top, like pretzel salt. I've done poppy seed. You can do whatever you want. Onion bagels. And if you want more the fruit flavored ones, you could do that too. I have not done that, but you could add blueberries or, cinnamon and apple pie seasoning to it. And so it's a recipe that you can play around with. I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour added in to the bowl. And now I'm going to add 1 cup of the Greek yogurt, the plain Greek yogurt. You want to take any whey off, any of the liquid that's on top of your yogurt. You don't want that in your dough to make it thin. I usually use this brand. I've used Chobani too. You want a nice thick one. It gives your dough more substance. So we'll add 1 cup of Greek yogurt. Takes 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Make sure your baking powder is good. Put that in there. And then 3/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt. So I use the teaspoon measure and just fill it 3/4 full. And there's the kosher salt. Now we're going to mix this together until the flour isn't just powder in the bowl, that it's kind of all mixed together. And then I use my hands, which I've washed, and make it into the dough ball. And then I will knead it until it has a nice smooth consistency and isn't sticky. It doesn't rise. So we just keep mixing. You can use wheat flour in this. These bagels make a really nice breakfast because they have protein in them from the yogurt too, so it has better nutrition than just a regular bagel. You can use gluten-free flour, the 1-for-1 gluten-free flour. This recipe, I discovered it from Skinny Taste, and I will put a link to her recipe too. She has great recipes. But that's when I originally got this recipe, and I have been making these for probably 4 years, 5 years. Okay, it's not all powdery anymore. So, and it's not all goopy yogurt. So I'm going to use my hands now and combine the little bits with my fingertips so that it turns into a dough ball. So I was going to make a single batch, and then I didn't videotape the first dough I made. So it's now a double batch, which is okay. Like I said, I can always freeze them. I'm going to put a little bit of flour, and then the dough. And you want to just knead it to where it doesn't stick to your hands. And you got to get into the middle, because even if the outside feels that way, the middle could still be tacky. You don't want it to be too dry though, you know, you don't want to work too much flour into it, excess flour. I have done garlic and onion and poppy seed before. So there, make it into the dough ball. I flatten it slightly, and then I cut it into 4. You take one of the quarters and just start just like Play-Doh, rolling it out, stretching it. When it's long enough to make a circle, pinch the ends together, overlap a little and pinch. And then put it on the cookie sheet that has parchment paper or a mat on it that you've sprayed. I made the mistake one time of doing them on just a plain cookie sheet, and it was a non-stick, I think, too. It didn't turn out. It stuck. And I didn't expect that to happen, so I learned the lesson. Always use the parchment paper. There you go. Another one. He calls for an egg wash with egg white. I just use a whole egg because I have eggs and I just do it that way. So brush the top. And when I brush the top, I try to take my brush and smooth them out more. Any like wrinkles or anything like that. I just try to get it so it has that smooth look of the traditional bagels, which are boiled first. Maybe one of these days I'll get brave enough to try and make real bagels. Or traditional bagels. Like, and after you put the egg wash on, the beaten egg is not really a wash, it doesn't have any water added to it. You put whatever seasoning or toppings you want added. So I'm going to use Everything Bagel seasoning. I buy this on Amazon. I know Trader Joe's has one, but there's no Trader Joe's nearby us. So this was the best value, and I've ordered it several times. So these are ready to go in the oven now. You set it for 25 minutes and then you check. And I always want to check the middle to make sure it's not doughy there and that they're totally browned. You don't want it to be a dough inside. So I'm going to put these in the oven and I will bring you back. Here they are out of the oven with the extra time. And now they're nice and golden brown. And they're a little crunchier on the outside. And they get a pretty nice and smooth texture. Sorry, I moved too fast. So, and I'm cooking some eggs on the griddle to go with these, some sandwiches for us for this morning and save the rest for Father's Day. Bagel. An egg. I put some cowboy candy on top with a little bit of cream cheese, and that is breakfast this morning. The next thing we're going to make as part of the collaboration for Father's Day is dessert. And this dessert is one of my son's favorites, and it's a family favorite, and it is extremely easy. It's an ice cream cake, a cheater sort of one. Ben always wanted an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen for his birthday, and they were expensive. And then I saw this idea in a magazine once, and we have made it for probably 20 years now. It was his idea to add the Oreos in the middle because the ice cream cakes at Dairy Queen have a crunchy middle. So I put 15 Oreos in here that I'm just going to break up. This is a great dessert to have any time of the year, and you can decorate the top, but for summer it's nice and cool, and it can be made ahead. It can be made several days ahead even, which is nice, and just stored in the freezer. This tool works really great for breaking up graham crackers, cookies. Splash some there. Okay, so that's done. We will put that aside. There's still cookies left over for everyone. You need a 9x13, unless you could make it in a square pan and just use fewer ice cream sandwiches. That's the key to making this. Is inside the 9x13, you're going to layer one layer of ice cream sandwiches, and then you're going to put Cool Whip and cold hot fudge topping and the Oreos, and then another layer of the ice cream sandwiches, and frost it with Cool Whip. You can decorate the top you want with sprinkles or happy birthday or anything. And when you cut this afterwards, it's such a pretty look with all the different layers. It makes really nice square dessert on a plate. So the worst part about this is you have to open up like 24 ice cream sandwiches. And you know what I've noticed over the years is the ice cream sandwiches are smaller than they used to be. So they fit a little differently in here than they used to. So we'll see how it goes. I grabbed 2 boxes to have enough. I used to always have a few left over after the 2 boxes, but I don't know if I will today. You could make this with different flavors of ice cream sandwiches, like the Mississippi Mud or the Neapolitan ones. Our family always just wanted it with this. It is really windy here today. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but it's been quite hot. And today it's just below 80s, so not as bad. but the wind is crazy. So I think it will take all of them to make a layer. And if there's some gaps, that doesn't matter because the Cool Whip goes in between and the fudge topping. Break this in half. If this all fits pretty good. Kind of plop this on and then try and spread it. Don't heat up the hot fudge because then it will melt the ice cream. You could change it up, I'm sure, if you wanted to use like caramel topping. If you have a thick one, that would work too. I don't think the hot fudge topping jar is as big as it used to be either. But it will do. You could add another jar if you wanted a really thick layer. Next, we'll sprinkle the Oreos evenly across there. I have put peanuts in the middle before to make it like a peanut butter parfait. You can put any other kind of nuts in the middle there too. So now we put some Cool Whip. This could have thawed a little more. But I need to get this done. I have to go babysit my granddaughter. I want this in the freezer. Okay, so now this is all spread evenly. We will open up the next box. Ice cream sandwiches, and I just buy whichever ones are on sale or the store brand. I don't buy expensive ones for this. What's surprising is how heavy this is after everything is in it and it's froze solid. pretty full. We're going to take some more Cool Whip and frost the top of it basically. I have made this in the foil disposable pans before too. If you were going to add sprinkles or nuts or anything that you would want to stick to the top, now is the time to do that. If you're going to add lettering or frosting even afterwards to it, then I would do that after it's froze. So we're going to put the lid on this and put it in the freezer, and when it comes time to cut it, I'll bring you back. And here is a piece of the ice cream cake cut out. You can see all the layers, and you have to let it sit a couple minutes to kind of, so you can cut through it easily enough. But this is what it looks like. And it is very tasty. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Father's Day and gets to celebrate it with all the special men in their life. And thank you for this collaboration. I really appreciate it. And if you like this video, push the like button and subscribe my channel to see more. I do videos on canning and baking and cooking and on what's for dinner and about life here on Pike Creek Farm. Thank you very much.